Option in Africa. Guys, there's some serious issues that we need to talk about in this video. I would like you to give this video some serious attention. If you can, please share this video. I want to start by addressing the presidential visit to America in the US. Our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, was in New York at the stock exchange, engaging with some serious global market leaders, even met with Elon Musk. But there was an interview that he had, and what he said in that interview, it broke my heart, to say the least. I also want to cover a video of a young lady, a young fighter, Thembi, who was in the Free State at the EFF celebration, I think heritage celebration, where she spoke about what the EFF meant when they said 2024 is our 1994. Such a big revelation that she dropped there, and I want us to look into that and also look into what Julius Malema said in the celebration of Heritage Day when he said, listen, what type of heritage are we celebrating? Is Heritage Day just the clothes that we are wearing, or is there a deeper meaning to what Heritage Day means? And also I want to show you the difference as to how we celebrate it and how Abanye Balungu were celebrating it. Those who are there in Orania, what did they do on Heritage Day? And I want us to wake up to some serious things. Let's talk about that and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Ngwane Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, I'm covering just a few topics for you guys pertaining Heritage Day and the presidential visit to the US. First, Buffett, our president was in the US. Now, when you are in the US, as South Africa, I expect our president to act in such a way that he's representing not South Africa, not only South Africa, but the entire continent of Africa, the entire country of Africa, because Africa is one country, actually. But in an interview, there's something that our president said that I was like, how do you represent yourself? Or how do you present yourself when you say a statement like that? Our president, without being asked anything, he said that this place smells like money. Of course, he might have meant it metaphorically because they were at the stock exchange and everything. But there's some things that you don't want to appear desperate to the American people. And kahle sifuna thina eAmerica. Kanti asisebenzi neBRICS. Sebenza nabobani kahle thina. No, bafethu. Let me play this because I wanted to listen to what President Cyril Ramaphosa was saying and how he was representing us that side, how his body language was and everything. But yes, Tina, we've got this sickness when we are around abantu abamhlophe. Listen to this simple one question that the interviewer asked, and listen how Cyril Ramaphosa started by answering it.
As president, how should markets, global business leaders think about navigating an unprecedented year known as the global election year? And particularly for those of us in the room, this global election season we're about to embark upon.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Lynn Martin, for welcoming me. Indeed, it is the very first time that I'm here. You asked me to sign your visitor's book.
Yes. But it's not going to be your last time here.
And I wrote a note that this place smells of money. And this place smells of money. And this place smells of money. And I left you with a message that I'd like some of that money to come to South Africa. We are truly honored, myself, my delegation of ministers and top officials in our government. And I see a number of business leaders who are also here, and I think there was one trade unionist who was also in our earlier meeting. He might well be here. So for us, this is a real honor. We have seen with a great deal of joy as a number of our home-based companies coming to list here, and that has given us the message that yes, we can also be global. We can also play in the international market. Indeed, this has been a year of a number of elections, and I think elections that have more.
Now let me, for the sake of those who maybe were not focusing to what the lady was saying. The lady said, how should the global market leaders navigate themselves in the global election year? You know, there's an election season. Many important elections are happening this year. That was the question that was supposed, or that was asked to our president. And you would expect the president. That question. It's so loaded. It's not even funny. It sounds like a simple question, but at a level where she's asking it, the global market leaders, how should they navigate themselves in this election year? Meaning, how should they treat each election? Which position must they take? Which stance must they take, towards this election year? First of all, I would have expected that my president would have explained that the global market leaders must understand that the global East operates differently from the global North. The global North operates separately from the global South, and also in the global West. That's something that you need to put out there. That not every continent, not every country scenario is the same. It can be treated the same. In some countries, you listen to what the government is saying. In some countries, you listen to what the people are saying on the ground. For example, Burkina Faso. You remember when Ibrahim Traore took over, he said, listen, after 2 years, I want to give back the ranks so that we can have a normal election. The people of Burkina Faso said, no, continue leading us. We love what you are doing. The people of the West call him a terrorist. He must give back the power. The same as in Niger, the former president Mohamed Bazoum, who the people are saying these are terrorists. The ECOWAS took them out of their federation and said, listen, get out. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, you are led by military coups. We cannot consider you guys. They don't want to listen to the people on the ground. And ever since those three generals took over, the lives of the people in those countries are getting better. It started going downwards, especially for Niger, because electricity was cut and everything, because they get most of their electricity in their neighbors, Nigeria. And all three of those countries don't have a seashore. Don't have a coastal line. You understand what I'm saying? So they depend in terms of imports and exports from other countries next door to them. So it was a very difficult thing. And also the global leaders must not think just because they carry the monetary powers that they can rule over legislation and laws of different countries. There's so much to say when you are asked that question. What does our president say? He says, oh, man, this place smells of money. Yeah. Just imagine someone comes from another country to South Africa and says, wow, this place smells as money. It automatically means where you come from. You guys understand what I'm saying? Where you come from, there's no smell of money. It is here in our presence that you are smelling money. And now we know what type of attitude you have towards America and how you see yourself as South Africa. You know, and it says, and we want, and I wrote a note that some of that money must come back or go to South Africa. Tell the people that if I was the global market leaders, I would invest heavily in South Africa because South Africa is the next big thing. I would concentrate on the markets in Africa because Africa is the most youthful continent in the world. Is the almost the highest populated continent in the world. Vast storage of minerals. There's minerals left and right in the African country, in the Congo, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in South Africa, Mozambique, Namibia, you name it, Botswana. I would, if I was the global market leader, I would put my focus in those countries. Not man, give us some money. This place smells like money. My president, no man. Hi. I listened to that part and I said, I'm not going to listen to the rest of the part anymore. There's nothing I want to hear anymore. Because you started on the wrong foot for me. Yes, you met about Elon Musk, it's good. What's his telecom company that they want to bring to South Africa? Anything for me that competes with Vodacom, MTN, and Telkom, it's good for me because those companies are playing with us in terms of prices here in South Africa. They are really, really, really playing with us, you know. So, that's what I wanted to say about that. Let's go to this young lady called Thembi of the EFF. Such a bright future in politics if she's going to continue and maintain this type of attitude. I like her. I've known her for some time now on social media, that is. I like how she articulates herself. Listen to this.
Every year with accommodation. What is accommodation? It's land. But the student commander, you named land accommodation, right? Accommodation is land. That's how the student command coined it. And don't worry, when you said 2024 is our 1994, people misunderstood. It is. It is. They resold us again like they did in 1994. So yes, 2024 is indeed our 1994. As the EFF, we have achieved what we wanted. We have achieved, as the EFF, what we wanted. They will always say we're the biggest losers. Where? Who lost power?
Exactly.
Who lost government? Did we have government?
No.
We brought them to their knees. They are going around begging. They are even sleeping with colonizers and settlers. They are the biggest losers, not the EFF. They will never want to say it, fighters, because they always want us to feel bad and to be feeling small. We're not shaken.
Yeah, unfortunately for us here in South Africa, what she's saying has got a lot of truth in it. 1994 or 2024 is our 1994 in that aspect or that respect, to say we were sold again into the hands of our colonizers. Kept the MK out. You know, the third biggest party was kept out. The fourth biggest party was kept out. You work with Sir Outer Amapantiti. You work with with the Freedom Front Plus, you work with the DA, as the ANC, the Liberation Party. That party worked with those people and kept. So it's the same thing that Mandela did. It's the same thing. And remember, Mandela did it in a situation where he did not need to do it. The ANC won the elections in 1994. There was no need to say, okay, let me subat. There was no need. But it was pre-signed as a deal to say, I think a party that will get more than 5% must get some type of a seat in parliament, a government of national unity. That's what happened in 1994. But it was pre-agreed as to whoever wins the elections. You can't just chase people out of the department and hire your own people in high positions and all of that. Keep some people so that there can be a better, smooth transition. That's how they worded it, So, yeah, we were sold again in 2024. We were made fools. And anyone is a fool who thinks that actually we can win this war on the ballot paper. Guys, the shock that you guys are going to get in 2029. And like I said, as long as the MK is running that direction, the EFF is running that direction, the ATM is running this direction, I so wish the ATM leader can join the EFF or the MK. I think he will be better suited in the EFF. But either party he joins, I don't care, man. The ATM is too small of a party. They get something like 2 or 3 seats in parliament. If Zongula moves with those leaders to the EFF or to the MK, those leaders are still guaranteed their seats in parliament, if you know what I'm trying to say. Zongula is an asset for South African politics. We can't lose that man to a small party like the ATM. For me, it's like, Maba changing ingqondo zabo, let them think and strategize properly. It will be a good injection for the EFF or the MK. As a Pan-Africanist, me, I want all of those parties to be one party. Whether you call that party with a new name or whatever you do, I just want those parties to be, because I think united we stand a better chance to fight. But the EFF people will say, King, we are not working with those people. The MK people will also say, we don't want to work with those ones. That type of a problem that we are having as African people, because we are always divided. We are always thinking, I've got a better idea, I've got a better institution, you don't have anything, and all of that. Let's listen to what Julius Malema said on Heritage Day. Very powerful statement that Julius said. Listen to this.
What type of heritage must we celebrate? Are we celebrating the defeat, or are we celebrating the victories that those who came before us fought and won? Today, they say it's a heritage day. Except wearing the clothes that we are wearing and saying we are proud through the clothes, what other heritage do you have? Because when you say Happy Heritage Day, the whites are celebrating Heritage Day of owning banks. Their heritage is owning land. Our heritage is landless. Our heritage is that of not owning the mines when they own the mines. Our heritage is that of not owning the monopoly industries when they own monopoly industries and control everything in South Africa. They say we must say Happy Heritage Day. Both the poor and the rich, we must all be happy today. For what? Because we don't have what the rich have. They've got more than what we have as a heritage.
Okay, guys. This Heritage Day thing, like I said yesterday, that my issue with Heritage Day is that, number one, we most of us only wear our traditional attire during traditional weddings, maybe some type of traditional ceremonies, sometimes on Heritage Day, and that's it. We don't care. We don't care because some people just believe that tradition wear is too much or is too little. We've got an attitude towards our tradition, and that is the Western program that is working in our mind to belittle our tradition and make us feel as if we need to be more westernized. When you go to work and you're not wearing a shirt, you feel like you're not looking like a corporate enough. You understand what I'm trying to say? But there is a deeper meaning that Julius Malema is speaking about, to say, listen, heritage is not just those things. It's not your language. It's not your traditional group. It's deeper than that. It's history. It's embroidered in the history. And there is no history you can tell without a place. What is a place? A place is a geographical area, meaning land. What is it that we own? When we celebrate our tradition, our heritage, does land be excluded from that conversation of celebrating heritage? It's like our heritage, pretend, sing together, hug and kiss to each other as if the Springbok is playing or Bafana is playing, or some type of an event. Heritage Day is an event. It's not a way of life. It's an event. After the event, you go back to your poor slums. Let me go back to my suburbs. Let those ones go back to the farms. And we don't discuss the issue of land. And another thing I've got an issue with is that we have talked is enough, man. Because even next year, Julius Malema can make the same speech, and the same speech is relevant. But for how long are we going to talk, Tina Africa? For how long? Because we know what the problem is. We know what the issue is. And we know the limitations of politicians, because politicians have got limitations. Julius Malema can simply say, you know what, we are not, as the EFF, we are not in power. And then that makes us keep quiet. Say, we voted for the EFF, but the EFF is a 9% political party. The MK is a 15% political party, 45 in KwaZulu-Natal. What can they do? Because this government of national unity is overpowering them. So we as the society need to stand up. I'm going to continuously make the example about Orania. Tina, when we were, because some of you, I'm recording this, it's 1 o'clock. Can you guys see? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Some of you are clubbing, even though you're going to work today. You are clubbing, you went out and you went to go drink. Nothing wrong with recreation events and all of that. But Labantu Laba City Abasfuni, Bona, they were doing something progressive. You go to Orania, they were launching a new bakery that they were opening there to say, they were celebrating something, to say, listen, in our heritage as the Afrikaner people, we are celebrating that we are finally getting out of the grid of Eskom. When South Africa in the future comes and says load shedding and whatever, we will not be part of that load shedding. What are they doing? They are building institutions. Remember, Banganda Bantula Orania by 3,000 something or something like that. Tina, see 40,000 la, I'm a subscriber. Nyaz with not 40,000 people watch here. You should think about maybe 10% or something. But sibaningi la. Slula yini, Tina, to build like they are building. Slula yini ma Africa. They are building there. They are celebrating something to say, okay, we are preparing for the future. Our children, we are preparing. Tina bantwana bethu sibagqokisa ama traditional attire in, but we are not preparing the bright future for them. And that is the honest truth that we must tell ourselves, Tina, as abantu abamnyama. Ukuthi sicelebrate kakhulu ayikho into siakhayo. Akithi uri nalo mtha ngikutlwa na. Elori wa ngikutlwa and one tlhalogana goreng kwala mo comment section re ke o tlhalogana king. Now just write on the comment section and say you understand what I'm saying to you. We need to build. We need to build in this channel. As long as this channel is still alive and kicking, we are talking about the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. It's a school that seeks to Africanize their educational curriculum, to teach our children values of Africa, the proper history of Africa, to teach them about economics. When children get out of school, they need to know how to make money online. When children get out of school, I'm talking about school, primary and high school, they need to know how to plant seeds in their backyard and grow spinach. They need to know these things. Say, Mama, we can't buy spinach at the supermarket. Spinach, we can grow it here at home. Potatoes, we can grow them here at home. At school, they taught us how to grow carrots here at home. There's nothing difficult about that. But we have lost our Africanism, our heritage, we have lost it. Everything we want to buy, even things that we are not supposed to buy. My sister's got chickens, and my Tina Slaleka's where you can't have chickens, you need to engage them somewhere. But the chickens are there every morning. My grandmother's got many chickens. When my grandfather was still alive, we had sheep and goats and everything. My grandmother from my father's side, we still have the cows there, still alive, still kicking. We grew up in that type of environment where December, why is those things not normal, my African people, anymore to us? Now we are chasing the paper. The paper, we take the paper, we take it to the butcher. We don't see what it is. Between us withdrawing from the ATM and going to the butcher, there is a line of education that we skipped for our children. A learning curve that we skipped. Our children don't know. Tina Abanyede, when my grandfather passed away, they gave me all of the knives. Because I know how to slaughter a cow. I know how to slaughter a sheep. I know how to slaughter a goat. Some of you have never even slaughtered a poor chicken. And that's not to make fun of you. It's how we were colonized. We are changing to be Westerners instead of being Africans. So we need to change our minds, Tina. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Let us unite. That's why in Paseta we said we need 10,000 people to come and say, King, we are behind you and your team. We hear what you are saying. We want to build this school with you guys. Here is the details on the screen. Send us a WhatsApp. We've got many WhatsApp groups. I keep on repeating this every week. So we've got many WhatsApp groups where you can fall in and help us with your expertise, man. You've got so much knowledge, so much wealth. You are a walking library, but you are keeping to yourself. Let us share with other people. Asiyeke nokhuluma ma-Afrika, man. We have spoken is enough. We have talked is enough, man. Because if we don't do anything, because I would expect, I'm this type of a person, and hear me as I go in my closing remarks. I'm this type of a person. If I say something like I said now, I want us next year in Heritage Day to open something. Small library, a bridge, a road, or buy a farm. I'm that type of a person. Open the school. Next year, let's do something to show that last year we were listening when we were talking. But the problem, Tina, these people they are getting out of the grid of ESCOM. Tina, we are on TikTok, we are on YouTube, we are everywhere, we are on social media. Want to be famous on social media? People must know me. I've got 40,000 subscribers. 40,000 subscribers. But when you look at the impact of that 40,000 subscribers, zero. So as chin guys, as chin. Ro complain of fitlhella neng mara batho ba Modimo. So if you want to be part of those people who say, listen, King, I want to assist Paseta, I've got this expertise. I'm an engineer, I'm a constructor, I'm in the chiefhood, I'm in a royal family, I'm a lawyer, and because we need lawyers, you know, guys, we have now launched Paseta Legal Minds because we need lawyers. We need people that can fight for us in the legal field, you know, because most of the fights that Paseta is going to have is going to end up in court. Do you guys understand? Now, whether it's fights directed to the company or to people outside the school, we need to fight for our people in the courts, and that's the honest truth. And we cannot be political affiliated. If black political parties want to support us, Amandla, let's go. But we can't take a political stance and say we are for EFF or we are for MK. Because once you say that in the black mind, in the black people's minds, if you say you are EFF, the MK people hate you. If you say you're ANC, the EFF people hate you. You understand? These political banners are there to divide us even further. You guys understand what I'm saying? So those who want to assist, here's the details, here's the banking details. Remember, it's Capitec business account. It's not a normal savings account, it's a business account. You select business account, then you select the proper branch code, and then you make sure that you send your contribution of 50 Rand. If you feel you can do more, we are most welcome. If you feel like you can do a little bit below 50 Rand, it is also welcome, because Tina, our strength as African people is in our numbers. Even if we took out 1 Rand each, it will make a difference if all of us took out 1 Rand. So thank you so much, guys. Let us act. Let something come out of this YouTube channel. Let something come out of this YouTube channel. Ne? So until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.